Hello, today to talk about my book. But first, my name is Mariela Yamilek Cervellon Sosa, and the name of my book is a storyteller, written by Antonia Michel Ellis. It's a little bit about a love full of anguish between two young people from completely different worlds, and it's about staying faithful to someone. It's also about a murder announced in a fairy tale, and it became a book he didn't want to start to reading. And as a reader, it is still a history with a great expectation, and it was delighted to see what was happening. And it has some nice or hateful characters, others and lonely, loyal and traitors, and this will make the story bitter and lonely. It all started in January in the cold winter in Germany, but the story starts with the risk loss that allowed with Anna and Abel to know each other, but Abel has no dad and her mother is missing, and he has a complicated life with your younger sister Misha, and they live alone. And now to talk about the characters, the first one is Anna. Anna, she is a student of a junior high school, and she had her dreams planned before Jonathan Bell. And the history describes her as intelligent and pretty, and apparently she has everything in her life, but sometimes she feels lonely. And the other one is Abel. She's a student of the junior high school, Saint of Anna, and she's a lonely boy from this school, and with too many problems, but we decided to overcome and to help with your younger sister. And he is a boy with a blonde hair and blue eyes. He is a handsome, and he calling in the school a police merchant. And Micha, she is a little girl with that goes to school even. And other is Nakeb. He is a high school teacher, and he has a rather intimate friendship with Abel. And the other one is Rainer Liersky, is Abel's stepfather, and that Abel hates that his people, but is Misha's father and appears during absence the Michel. And Bertil is the guy who always being in love with Anna, and he is the best student in this school, but he is a friend, only a friend of Anna, but she fall in love with her. And Gita, she is a funny friend with a crazy, very crazy life, and is the best friend of Anna, and they live all their childhood together. Also, they are very different. And the other one is Hennes. He is the rich boy from the high school and is the boyfriend of Gita. And Linda, she is the mother of Anna, and she is a friendly and a worried mother for her daughters. And Magnus is not a serious father, but both support their daughters and love her. And Soren Marinke is from the social welfare office, and Kento. Sorry, she is the noisy neighbor of this story, where Anna starts talking to Abel with a ridiculous conversation about a doll she finds and apparently if his. But the cold way of him is the one that generates a lot of questions of her. And after the meeting, she tries to know more about him, for example, because they call the police merchant. And she knows it was because he sold drugs. Also, this didn't not make her give up to talk with him and try to talk, but for days that was difficult because Abel didn't want to talk with Anna. As the day passed, she managed to get him to trust him little by little, and she knew the part of the problems that he had and she wanted to help him, but he couldn't let. And the day came when Anna and Misha meet and they became friends, but who would say that in the end of the history Misha could be a part of the family of Anna? And sometimes they went to walk Anna, Abel, and Misha in the park, in the square, in the beach, in the forest, and in the cafeteria. In this moment, Abel told a story. But sometimes he telling a story about a little queen that she lived in an island, and the story mentioned a character that had connection with the real life and fairy tale. But at the beginning of the fairy tale, nobody knows the truth, and the older brother Isabel, he made a lot of things to protect her sister and things to protect. For example, he did things to sell drugs and he killed a lot of people. And nobody know that when someone did in the history, it was actually true. And Abel was spoke to Bertil in the high school saying that Abel had sexual preference to men, and also, and this was not true, and he did it the year for money and help to her sister. And the days passed and he embarrassed in the high school and he didn't come because of the situation that Bertil. And Anna, she discovered that Michelle don't went to a trip and actually she helped it in the reality, like the stepfather is the lord of the office of the social assistant and almost of the professor of the high school. All these murders were accusing Abel, and the day came that Abel knew he would read, and that everything she had done would be discovered for these crimes. And one day before turning 18 years old of Abel, in front of the building of Misha lived in Abel, were two cars, and one car is of Magnus and the other car is of the police. And those who quickly climbed and Abel rushed out of the apartment to a rusted staircase that nobody used was held what does nobody use that was held one hand and the other hand has a gun. But Abel only looked an instant to Misha and Anna, and after he released in a laugh and he shot himself in the head. And his history in the head had planning everything, even that her sister will adopt Anna's parents, and if anything happens. And in spite of everything, Anna Lehman had loved him until the end.